Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Living the Empowered Life, where we're learning how to master the confidence to go after our dreams by unleashing the power within. And today, I'm really thrilled to have with us Judith Costa. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so happy to share this time with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. So why I invited Judith on is because she is an unconditional love coach. And if we're going to talk about unleashing the power within, I think we have to talk about love. So more about Judith. So she is an unconditional love coach. She's a seminar leader, a writer, a speaker. She has a master's degree in psychology and psychotherapy and an MBA. She can help people overcome inner blocks to love, to achieve their dreams, and to find love and happiness. She offers private sessions in different techniques such as coaching, past life regression therapy, the Akashic Records, astrology, and dream interpretation. And she does workshops, retreats, and talks all around the world. So we're really proud and grateful to have you with us today, Judith.
I'm so thrilled to be here and to be able to share what I have learned through my path.
Awesome. I mean, you've got a lot of credentials. And what I said right at the beginning, why I asked you to come on was because you are an unconditional love coach. And in the realm of unleashing the power within, I do think that has a whole lot to do with unleashing the power of our self-love. So can you jump in? Before we get right into that, I'd love for our audience to know a little bit more about you and how you became an unconditional love coach.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I'm teaching this, I have workshops called Fall in Love with Yourself, Fall in Love with Your Body. And I think that, as you said, it's so powerful. To start loving yourself will transform your life. And this is what happened. In my case, everything started with love, but with the idea of finding this unconditional partner, finding my soulmate. And that's the reason why I put all these tools together that you mentioned, the Akashic Records, the past life regression, the dream interpretation. All of these are just ways of approaching or knowing the information that we have stored in our unconscious. And sometimes life put you in situations, we call them crises, where you don't have any other option than to change. And a lot of people that have approached me and worked with me said, I want to feel happier. I want to have an empowered life. I want to do and achieve my dreams, but I don't know how to start. Sometimes we feel so stuck. And I have to tell you that the solution to any problem you may have is to start loving yourself. Love yourself a little bit more every day. And this is what happens with me. I was in a marriage that wasn't working. I didn't like my job. My relationships were not the way I wanted, even though my life from outside seemed perfect. You have the nice house, you have the money, you have the husband, friends, and everything had to work. I was feeling really unhappy. And it was through a process of learning. That's the reason why I have accumulated all these credentials. I'm studying and doing inner work, where I discovered that there is something that we call love that can save us. And it's not this idea of love that we have through the relationships. I love you and you love me. It's more an idea that I have so much love within myself that I cannot stop myself from sharing it. And this is the true meaning of a relationship nowadays for me. When two mature individuals that they know already themselves and they have this idea present of loving themselves can share this love. Then when you love unconditionally, you don't exchange love. You just offer it freely. You don't try to possess, you don't try to control, you don't try to fix or take responsibility for the life of the other person. You are just more focused on loving yourself, no matter what, the way you are, and accepting yourself, And then it's when everything starts changing 360 degrees. And then you can achieve your goals. You can attract abundance. You can find the right partner. And you can feel healthier because this love that you feel already for yourself. But this is a process. It takes some time to figure out this.
Yeah, I mean, would you agree that probably a whole lot of people in the world don't love themselves?
Oh, yeah. That's the best.
How does someone start then?
Sometimes what we do is to criticize ourselves. We have this voice in our head that usually doesn't say nice things about us. More or less, it's you're not going to make it, and this is not going to happen, or who do you think you are? And we are not even aware that we have these judgments about ourselves. Then the first step will be to understand that you cannot believe everything that your mind says because it's not true. You are bigger, you are more powerful than you imagine. You have lots of gifts and you are born for a reason. You are here, you are important, you are unique. Without you, the life, this world will be totally different. Then when you realize that you don't need external achievements or accomplishments to love yourself, that it's enough just to love yourself for who you are right now, then it's when you start like step by step building a foundation. And it's easier for you to just, when you have these negative thoughts, switch them, change the radio station and listen to more loving thoughts that you can create. And then you start accepting that your life is the way it is, but that your past doesn't determine your future. And that you can create a new reality slowly, but steady, step by step. Every baby step counts. Then loving yourself is a big concept. A lot of people think that it's just self-esteem or just taking care of yourself, but no, it means a lot of things, from self-forgiveness to expressing your needs, to honor yourself, to respect yourself, to set up boundaries. Then you don't have to be perfect in all of these aspects, but you have to choose those that are more difficult for you and start focusing on improving that. Sounds it like a good plan?
Yeah, and it's a lot of what I can feel here coming up is the questions of, okay, we've got all this negative self-talk going on. And I know for myself, I wasn't even, before I kind of get into doing the work I did, I had no clue how bad my self-talk was and how negative it was until I kind of had somebody open my eyes. So if somebody's doing that negative self-talk, how are they going to not, I don't want to say trigger themselves, but how are they going to catch themselves so that they can change it? Do you have like a tool to offer?
Yeah, I mean, the idea of loving yourself is just to become your best friend. Then don't do anything that you won't do to your best friend or to your children. And when you organize your life thinking that you are a priority, what you can do is to start observing your life from outside. Like this word that everybody says nowadays that is called mindfulness.
Yes.
It's just observing your life like if you are an actor, like you are outside looking at your own life and seeing what happens. Then you start realizing how you talk to yourself, what messages do you say, what are your choices. It's very important when you feel that you are a priority in your life to ask yourself, what is the best decision for me now? Because we tend to respond in an automatic way. We just react.
Yes.
And in front of the same situation, we do the same. Then when we ask ourselves what is the best decision for us now, we are creating this space that we need to think about, how do I want to act in my life? What is the best? What should I choose right now? And then we stop making decisions or going on autopilot.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was so me when I said, like, I was kind of not noticing. I lived the majority of my life on autopilot. And I love how you're kind of bringing in these really, it's not hard. It's just being aware. And you said, step by step.
you said the key word. The first step is awareness. When you know, then you can do something to change it. The reason why I have so many tools to focus on what is the information stored in your unconscious, because these mechanisms, these patterns, these unconscious thoughts and behaviors sometimes are not present for us. We don't know what we do or why we do it. But when we start being mindful of our thoughts, when we start paying attention and become aware, then we have the power. When you take responsibility for your life, that what this means is not that you are guilty, that you are responsible for everything. It means that you can do something about it. You can respond differently towards the same issues, towards the same problems. Then it's not that when you love yourself, your life become perfect. It's that you get the power that you need to overcome any challenge that you may have or you may find in your life.
Wow, that's beautiful. So say someone were to want to start on this, do you have like a daily practice that you would recommend that somebody use, that, you know, maybe to start out their morning before they, I call it going down the rabbit hole, before someone goes down the rabbit hole first thing in the morning, where they get up and just start the negative self-talk in the morning?
Yeah, we have shared some of these things. I mean, I will say that mindfulness, just become aware, take a journal and write all these thoughts for a week. Write in a notebook everything that you say about yourself, and you will realize what is the truth of the relationship between you and you.
Yeah.
The you that thinks and the you that it's really unique and important, that in essence is already perfect. The second one will be, for example, to use the power of self-forgiveness. A lot of times we are stuck in a moment in time, in a situation, in a relationship, because we are not able to let go, to release, to forgive. When I talk about forgiveness, it's not this idea that you should forgive because you are a good person, or you should forgive because you have to forget the event or what the other person did wrong to you. It's more about setting yourself free, understanding that if you don't want to continue living in the past, attached to this person, event, situation, or whatever happens, you have to cut energetically this cord that still connects you with this event or this person. And the way you disconnect is by forgiving yourself. I tend to say that in life there is no mistake. You cannot make a mistake. The only thing that you do is to make a decision with information that you have at that moment in time. And this takes a lot of pressure from myself, because you just go through life. You don't have to be perfect. But if you feel that you have made a mistake, just use the power of forgiveness. Make a list of these situations, these relationships, anything that you need to forgive, and don't forget to include yourself in the list. And you will see that you feel free, that there is less weight on top of yourself. Then when you want to reconnect with you, a good way to do that is knowing yourself, knowing who you are. Then to do this, you need to spend time with yourself. When you want to know someone, you want to be with this person, you ask a lot of questions. No, what is your favorite color? What do you like? What do you like to eat? What do you want to do in your life? What is your favorite movie? And sometimes we just know ourselves very superficial. And it's important to do this thing that I call inner work, to spend time in our own company. It doesn't matter if you go into nature or you go for a walk or you listen music, but that you are in this meditative state. People tend to think that meditation is difficult. Meditation is anything that helps you connect with yourself, calm your mind, and go into this state where your brain, like in terms of waves, I can calm down, and you can release anything that is not important and really connect with who you are in essence. Then we have a lot of things. We have the power of forgiveness. We have meditation. We have mindfulness. We have asking ourselves, what is the best decision for me now? Then slowly, you will see how these things that seem very difficult, like stop judging yourself or stop criticizing yourself become easier.
Mm-hmm.
And you can choose one thing after another and start improving all the self-love. I like this idea that Christina Rillo, that has a book on self-love, she talks about self-love like it's a tree that has different branches. Then you just have to go through the process, focusing on each branch of the tree. And when, for example, forgiving yourself becomes easier, then just move to stop criticizing or stop comparing yourself with others. And then when this becomes easier, then just move to taking better care of yourself or learning how to say no when you have to say no and setting up boundaries.
I love that. What was popping for me when you were talking about forgiveness? And what I noticed with a lot of people, they'll talk about, well, I had a difficult childhood. For both men and women, they could say, well, my past relationships or marriages or whatever were awful. I can't do what I want because of, and it's always an outside circumstance or another person. And you brought in the discussion on that still has to do with self-love, even when we're looking at outside things. Can you tie that together?
Yes, usually we feel like we are a victim of our circumstances.
Yes.
We blame others for what's going on in our lives. And maybe other people did things to us that we didn't deserve. I'm not saying that everything will be perfect, but there is a moment in our life where we have to choose to be responsible. I mentioned this before. Then taking responsibility means that if I know that I have the power to change my life, I can stop being a victim and blaming others for what they have done or didn't do for me or to me. And why is this important? It's because if I have the power, if I believe that I can, then I'm creating a new reality. When we forgive others, as I said before, we set ourselves free. Free to what? Free to create this new reality. We are not stuck in the past anymore. The problem with not forgiving is that even though we want to be present in the present moment and to create a nice future for us, we are still writing the last chapter of our book, the book of our life. We are still in the past. There is a force that connects us with something that happened. And this is what we do also when we blame others. Oh, my parents didn't love me. Oh, my mother abandoned me. Oh, my father was an alcoholic. Oh, my husband cheated on me.
Yes.
That's fine. We understand that this was painful. We are not saying that this didn't happen. What we are trying to explain here is that you can stop living in that reality where these events happen to move to a new reality where you let go of this, you release this pain, and then you can create a new you that have learned certain lessons, that have had certain experiences, but that have decided, have chose in the moment to be happier every day. Then loving yourself and becoming happier are things that are intimately connected. Both are daily decisions. And you say, but if I have like a marriage that is falling apart, if I don't have the money, if I have problems with my children or with my boss, how am I going to be happy? Because nothing is working in my life. Then loving yourself no matter what means that independently of the external circumstances of your life, you choose to be happy. You choose to love yourself a little bit more. Why? Because it's in this moment when things are not working, when you need all your resources, when you need to stand by yourself and say, I'm my best friend. I'm going to do something about this. This is just a challenge in my life, but I have the power. And I declare that I'm going to overcome and I'm going to find the help. And you are never alone. You don't do this because you are so strong or very confident. Confidence comes from a place within your heart where you know that you are not alone, that help will come on your way, that you are always supported, that the universe is on your side and has your back. And that's the reason why you can overcome any challenge. because you are stronger than you imagine. Does it make sense?
Absolutely beautiful, and absolutely yes. What I loved is how you talked about you really have to choose, and you empower yourself when you make that choice and stop playing the victim. And it really is a choice, isn't it?
It is, but it's a daily choice. Every moment
Every
of your
moment.
life, every breath you take is a new beginning. You don't have to wait until Monday next month or next year. We tend to like make goals that then we get demotivated and we lose the interest in achieving that kind of things, usually because we don't have a reason why. And usually the only reason why that works is because you love yourself and you deserve to be happy. Then when you put your feet on the floor every morning, ask yourself, what can I do today to love myself a little bit more? What can I do today to become happier? Then happiness is not that everything is wonderful. Happiness is that no matter what is going on in my life, I'm going to smile. I'm going to continue working on loving myself, on accepting the life, on being grateful for what is working and not just focusing on what is lacking. When you are grateful for what you have, you attract more. And a lot of people have problems with this idea of manifesting more things in their lives because they think that they have to work harder, that they have to go after the things. And when you love yourself, because love is the highest vibration that exists in the universe, what happens is that you manifest by things coming towards you. You feel confident that these things are going to happen, and you make like it's a done deal. You live as if these things that you want, the soulmate, the better job, the more money, are already happening. But sometimes we have these blocks. We don't believe that this can be true. We don't believe that we deserve that. And then it's like building walls where these things can try to come to us, but we are closed. The doors are closed. We have a wall. And then the abundance knocks in our door like, hello, I'm coming. Oh, I thought that you were ready. Can you open the door? And we say, oh, no, thank you, not now. No, I don't feel I deserve it. And then things stop working, but not because we don't deserve that. It's because we feel that we don't deserve that. Because in the past we didn't have it, because our parents told us something, because our experiences in love and happiness don't have this information about you can have everything you want. Then we are the ones that put limits, real limits on what we can have, on the life that we can really enjoy. And love is always available. Just be sure that you have the doors of your heart open to receive it. Love is a flow. It has to go out and you have to be able to receive it, like abundance.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love your enthusiasm with this, and I can tell how passionate you are about this. And I love all these steps because they're not difficult, they're practical, and they're brilliantly simple.
Yes, they are.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's not complicated. It's just a commitment.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the process, but the sooner you start, the better. And when you realize that it works, then it becomes a habit. You don't think too much about brushing your teeth in the morning. Why? Because you are used to. Then you know that you take the brush, you put the paste, and you just do it. Mm-hmm. Then loving yourself is putting in practice these small acts of love for yourself. Mm-hmm. We tend to think about love on sharing our love, giving our love. We are trained and raised to give to others and give more and more and more until our tank of love is empty. What I'm trying to explain is like you have to have always a full tank of love. Then you have to create this love because this love comes from inside. You cannot give what you don't have. Then it's better that you have a full tank. And then you cannot stop yourself from sharing and sharing and sharing. Then if you want to transform your life and the life of others, love yourself a little bit more every day.
Love yourself a little bit more every day. That's beautiful. I need to switch gears. I need to ask you about something because I see our time is flying by. So right before we started recording, you and I had a brief chat about the Akashic Records, and you do consultations in that, and it's something that has always fascinated me. So can you give us a little gist about what that is that you do with people you work with?
The Akashic Records are like the book of your soul. Let's imagine that everything that have happened to us, every thought, every experience, every feeling, is recorded. We're in a kind of a virtual library that it's out there, where the book of the soul of each of us is there stored. Like each of us have a book. Then in a consultation of the Akashic Records, what we do is to consult this book that contains all the answers to any question you may have. Then, as I said, the person that wants to do an Akashic Record consultation have to prepare certain topics to talk about or certain questions. It's like to have an oracle open to you, like 24 hours a day. And it's very interesting because it's not an intuitive reading or a psychic reading. It may seem similar, but really what I do as a consultant is just to enter through a prayer in this field, this Akashic field, where the information is there. There are certain beings that give us the information to us. They are called the masters of the Akashic Records. Also some teachers. They don't identify themselves, but they are not angels, archangels, guides, or any being. And my purpose or what I have to do in this kind of session is just to give the information without adding anything. It's like, let's imagine that you ask, what is the purpose of the relationship with my husband? Then I kind of listen a voice, like if I'm listening the radio or they show me in an image, and I have to explain you what is exactly what I'm receiving. I don't need any introduction or any information in advance. I just have to be sure that loyally, like I'm giving you the information the way I am receiving. I don't have to interpret that. Then I do other private sessions like past life regression, coaching, dream interpretation, but this is the more special one, I will say, because it's a very powerful session and it's very complete because it's not only about asking questions and receiving answers. You can do healing during the session. You can let go anything that is holding you back, anything in your body, in your about your emotions that comes from your ancestors. They are so powerful that you can let go even things at a cellular level. Then it's about doing forgiveness work, letting go of patterns of behavior or thought, and also receiving guidance. A lot of people think that if we are talking about who are you as a soul, the questions have to be very important, no? About the purpose of your life. But no, it's not true. They will help you in anything. It doesn't matter whatever you ask. What should I do tomorrow? What is the best choice for me? Should I live in Canada or in the US? Should I change my job? What can I do about this? Or what is the health of my cat? There is no wrong questions. The only important thing is to prepare your questions that because they are important for you, then they will be answered.
Awesome. And now that you've got us all excited about the Akashic Records, tell us what you're offering the audience. There's a link on this page to your free gift.
Yeah, I have been thinking a lot since we decided to do this together because I usually offer something that I have already done that is related with self-love. Let's say a meditation, but they can find it also in my website or a lecture or a program on self-love. But this is the first time that I'm offering a 20-minute free Akashic Record consultation. Then I ask my Akashic Records, and they say that this is the best gift that I could offer. And this is what it is. Then the only thing that people have to do is to click in the link that will take them to my website, to the contact page, where they can ask about the session, if they have any question, or when is the best time for us to connect. This session can be done in person. I'm based in Miami, but of course it can be done online through FaceTime, Zoom, or Skype. Then
Awesome.
it's up to you. I'm here to serve, and I will be happy for those people that want to try and to know more about this technique that it's wonderful.
Awesome.
To schedule a session.
Cool. That is so generous. Thank you, Judith. And so now that our time has flown, I'm going to ask you if you have any parting words to wrap us up with.
Yeah, I will say that know that you are perfect the way you are, that you don't have to change, that you don't need to be fixed, that you are unique, and that it's your birthright to love yourself. Stop comparing yourself with others and start shining with your own light, because without you, the world will be totally different. You will be missed so much. It's the moment to take the power. It's the moment to be you and to be authentically who you are without any kind of hesitation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Judith. This is definitely going to be one I'm going to have to watch over and over and over again to get all of your nuggets and all of your steps in here. It's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. I'm so happy to be able to share a little bit about what I do.
Oh, you shared a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been wonderful. It's so easy to talk about this, and we can be talking during the whole day, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you again, Judith, and everybody. Hold tight. We'll have more interviews on living the empowered life, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Sending you lots of love. Bye-bye.